Okay, what is going on, guys? It is Corey here, and I hope you are having a fantastic day. In this tutorial, I'm just going to show you guys how I created this image from the raw, which is this. So from that to that, which is pretty big change from that to that. Alright, so in this tutorial I'm going to show you guys how I got this image. So I hope you guys do stick around for this. I have no clue how long this is going to be, probably like 10-20 minutes. I have no idea, but I'm just going to go through the whole step that I did to create this edited image. So I hope you guys do enjoy. Please like, subscribe if you haven't, and yeah, let's get on to the video. Alright guys, so what we've got here is the raw image straight out of camera. Nothing, no adjustments, nothing. Just even press the reset there, nothing will change. It is raw, straight from camera. It is absolutely terrible, but we're going to fix that. So first off, what I'm going to do is just go through the white balances on the raw. Make sure you are shooting in raw always. Never shoot JPEG or any other file size. Raw is the way to go, so shoot raw all the time. I cannot stress that anymore. So what I'm just doing here is just going through the white balances to check which ones look the best with the photo. So I'm thinking I like the more green. We'll go daylight and then just bring up the temperature just a tad. That's a bit too much. What I'm gonna do is just jump over to the shadows. The shadows slider here, and just bump that straight up. Bring out all the detail in the shadows. Just gonna play around with the sliders. And I'm gonna try my best to replicate the edited image that I've already done here. So as you can see, I cropped it in a bit because there was too much road, I guess. Or it didn't look as good as I thought it would, but we'll crop that. And holding shift and then go into one of the corners and drag, and that will keep the ratio as is. Just bring that to the center. You can also bring up the navigator tool, see how it's looking in the preview, and just work with it there. So what I really want to do is keep this tree here in the shot, in the frame. Probably bring that in a tad. Sweet, I'm liking that. It's looking good. Oh, actually, first what you want to do is just go bump over to the lens corrections here, and to toggle on enable profile corrections and remove chromatic aberration. So I guess that's pretty good with Lightroom. I'm not doing too much edits here on Lightroom, but I'll show you some techniques and whatnot on Photoshop. So we'll jump straight over to Photoshop, and yeah, I'll show you what I do from there. So we jumped into Photoshop, and first thing what I'm going to do is press Command or Control J, and that will duplicate the background. Duplicate, I can never ever get that word right on camera. I can never do it. Command or Control J to duplicate that background layer, which is locked. And as you can see, that created the duplicate there. As you can see, it does nothing. Alright, so straight after when I jumped into Photoshop, I'm just going to duplicate that and then go up to Filter, then Camera Raw Filter, and then that will just bring up this toggle menu, and you've got a lot of options there, what Lightroom does have, but I find it's more precise and accurate on Photoshop, so I'm just going to do it here. And it's more faster here on Photoshop than it is on Lightroom. Well, for me anyways. So what I'm doing is creating a flare just off to the side here so the sun comes through. So I'm just going to bump up the exposure, hit inside, and just toggle around with that. So as you can see, that created that flare here, and what I am really not liking is the purple in this tree here. So what I'm going to do is fix that. So I'm just going to Command J that, or Control J, and hit Command or Control U, and that'll bring up the hue saturation tool. Next one I'm going to do is go to the magentas, which is that color, bring that down, and the reds, bring that down. Probably not so much. bring the master down a little bit as well. And you see that's my hue saturation. I'm going to say desaturated. And hit Alt and the layer mask, and that will hide that layer. B for brush. Doing that thing once again, I freaking hate. So as you can see, that's sort of gotten rid of that purple there. Alright, so that looks pretty good, well, better than it did. And then hit Shift, Alt and Command E, and then that will stamp all the layers below. Next one I'm going to do is I'm going to create an Orton effect on the greens and the yellows there. So blur and Gaussian blur. Around there. Sweet. So I created the Orton effect there, gave that pretty neat look there, right there. Alright, so next one I'm going to do is how I vignette or burn, dodge, whatever you want to call it, my images. So I'm going to give a massive plug shout out to Joshua Cripps who showed me this, and it's the neatest way to get the vignettes in your images. So first what I'm going to do is delete that curves and go to the adjustment icon down there, curves, and then just bump that up. Command I, B for brush, make sure I'm in white, and just paint in the bits that I don't want in the vignette, just around the flare and the sun side. And when that finishes painting, there we go, Command or Control J, Command or Control I, and then I'll invert that, double click the curves, bring that down, and then I like to bring the shadows back up. Awesome. So as you can see just from that, probably not too much black, I think. What am I doing? That's white, this is black. And then just turn the opacity down to the black. Awesome. So as you can see with these minor adjustments, we went from the raw to that. And it's not too bad, I guess. Yeah, it'll do. So what I'm going to do next is Command stamp that, Command Shift Alt E, and that'll stamp it. And what I want to do is make them greens pop. Make them greens pop a fair bit, and how I do that is hit I for the eyedropper, choose selected green around there, jump up to select, color range, and what I'm doing here is making sure the greens are white, or as white as I can get them, which is not that. Sweet. So whatever's black is not selected, whatever's white is selected. So that right there is not going to be selected, that right there, the greens is what I want selected, is going to be selected. Hit OK, that'll select it. And then just jump over to the curves. Awesome. Go to the greens, bring the greens up. Not too much. We'll try not to anyways. Go to the blue and bring that down. That will give that yellow effect. I like that. Hit B for brush and start on a black brush. Then just start painting where I don't want the green or whatnot to affect. Should be here in the walkway, these bushes here. And as you can see from that, that made that pop a fair bit. And if you made it too green or too bright, you can just bring the opacity down. Not a big deal. Alright, so next what I'm going to do is darken up this side of the image, because that is not the main interest in the image. The main interest is this walkway with the flare coming through and these trees here. So that's distracting and not important. Just jump over to filter, camera raw filter. And then what I'm going to do is just add a dark graduated filter just across the side there. Hold shift and then that will keep it straight. See, if I didn't hold it shift, I can just put what angle I want and whatnot. So if I hold shift, it will just be straight. And I'm thinking right about there. And bring up the blacks a tad. What I really like is that light hitting the side there, so what I'm going to do is just brush that back in. Not too much. And hitting Command or Control Z to undo that brush stroke that you just did. Awesome. So this was before, after. As you can see, it dragged the eye more towards the right and down the center of that walkway. Hit OK. Awesome. So I'm really liking how this is turning out. As you can see, I'll just show you before, after, before, after. So that flare, the vignette, the graduated filter just down the side there, the Orton effect and whatnot. Actually, I'm going to do the Orton effect one more time, but not as strong. Stamp it, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And I'm not trying to bring that too strong, so I'm going to bring that down. So around about there. Curves, and bring that up. And I'm just looking at these trees here. And bring that down, contrast. Awesome. And then I'm just going to mask in the bits that I want the Orton effect to apply. And as you can see here, it made it a bit too blurred in my opinion. So I'm just going to add a high pass filter to that. And then to do that, you just go to the other in the filter section or in the category and then high pass. And not making it too intense, which is what it is right now, it's too intense. So just bring that back a bit. And then when you always add a high pass filter, you make sure you just set the blend mode to soft light. Now you can see that sharpened it just a tad, well enough, and just mask in where you want the high pass filter to affect. So I want it here in where the sun's directly hitting it. Awesome. So next what I'm going to do is brighten up this pathway here. So to do that, just add a curves. Then grab that hand icon there and then just grab, I don't know, just the darkest I guess of the area and Command J that. And just bring that up. And I'm just looking at the road here, not the flare. And Command I or Control I, B for brush, bring it on black, paint it white in a white brush. So as you can see, that brightened it up just a little bit, well enough to make out what it is. Alright, so next what I'm going to do is in this area here, all the shadows here, I'm just going to desaturate, stamp it, and bring down when it eventually merges. And Command or Control U, that'll bring up the hue saturation. Then just bring the opacity just down a bit, not too much, just a little bit. A little bit more, there we go. Then just simply just paint in where you want the desaturated look. As you can see, that brought that effect a little bit too much. Next what I'm going to do is add another filter, but this is going to be a radial filter in the Camera Raw. And I'm going to vignette that. I'll show you right now. Click up here in the radial filter, turn the exposure down and make sure it's on the outside. And just like that. Not too much underexposed, and then bring up the blacks and the shadows. And then just fiddle around to where you want the effect to apply. And I don't want it to affect this flare up here that I created before, so I'm just going to brush that back with the brush and minus the minus brush to minus out the radial filter. So as you can see down here, it darkened it just a tad, or just enough. So I'm pretty sure that's basically all I did to the image. So this was before the image was edited and after. Before and after. So I reckon that looks pretty neat. So I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I hope you guys did learn something new in this video. Please do drop a sub, drop a like, drop a comment. Tell me what I need to improve on in my videos. All the support really is appreciated. So I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.